Om Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. They say good luck doesn't come twice and bad luck doesn't come alone. So the So good luck has been happening since last evening. My thankfulness, gratitude to Swāmi Vidyananda and Swāmini Ātmaprajñānanda, and which finally resulted at 12 o'clock today with Shantatmananda. So it is a challenge to prepare a paper in a Vidvat Sadas within 2 hours, but because I knew that good luck doesn't come twice, so I said yes, then I started preparing the paper. Vidvat Sadas, when you say, it reminds me of Vidvat Sannyasa and Vividisa Sannyasa. So one of my acharyas, she explained that Vidvat, and the way we are having, we have been having these long-term courses by Pūjya Swāmiji, that Vividisa Sannyasa is when you take sannyasa to study. So you take sannyasa to study. But if you have undergone a 3.5-year course in Arsavidya, then it is Vidvat Sannyasa. So I would consider my standing here, my existence here, not in the Vidvat Sadas. Mine is Vividisa, this is Vividisa Sadas, whatever. And my topic today will be, it won't be analytical like Acharya Jayashankar, it will be descriptive. So I'll walk you through whatever has been my understanding and my research since last 10 years. My topic is Buddhism. And not to worry you, I'll tell you what will be the points, bindus of my talk. I'll talk on life. I'll carry you through life of Buddha, his tapas, his teachings, his lifestyle, Saṅgha rules, then how there was no nominee, then the schisms in Buddhism, then Hinayana, Mahayana, then Buddhism in Tibet, rise of Buddhism in India, decline and disappearance of Buddhism in India, and how Buddhism now remains integrated in our Sanatana Dharma. That is how it will be. It will be short presentation. The life of Buddha. Buddha is a historical character because there are documentary evidences. Documentary means a lot of things. When I say documentary, why when they are refuting the existence of Lord Rama and Lord Krishna, whereas scholars are not refuting the existence of the Buddha, is because of many things. Out of my memory I am saying that because literature is available, Buddhist literature is available, archaeological evidences are available, numismatic evidences are also there, then a living tradition. That is how historicity is attributed to the Buddha. Now Buddha as a person, supposing I, a chota fellow, have been in this parampara since last 22 years, and all of your acharyas have your own setup in your place, and how you, I'm talking about your teaching life, and all the sadhana and tapas that has gone behind that. So in case of Siddhartha Gautama, that he lived for 8 years is not challenged, but when he was born, that is challenged. So 563 BCE, before Common Era, or 480 BCE, he was born. Death is 483 before Common Era. So he lived for 8 years. That's a long time. And his year of disappearance is confirmed because Buddha died in the 8th year of the reign of Ajatasattu. Ajatasattu, king of Magadha, who succeeded the throne after killing his father, King Bimbisara. Bimbisara and his tapas was not for a long period. I mean, he was wandering for 6 years, and he had, you remember, he along with 5 Brahmins, they were in search of truth, and when he had that pious, he broke his fast, that long fast, and broke his fast. Then those 5 Brahmanas left him, abandoned him, dropped him, and went away, dismissing him. But just see that the history remembers the Buddha, and it doesn't remember who were those Brahmins. They are nameless and faceless people in the history. Yes. So his tapasya was for 6 years, and finally meditation. When he said that I am not going to get up from this place unless I have it. Okay, that was for continuous 49 days. And the surprising fact, I was surprised that after that, I was surprised at his length of tapas, intensity of tapas, as well as he taught for 45 years. At the age of 35th year, he had his, whatever you say as enlightenment, or whatever through meditation he received it, or he got it, and taught the whole thing along with Sheila and all that for next 45 years. So 80th year he had his parinirvana. His teachings are about, this is not very relevant to my talk, 4 Noble Truth and 8 Precepts. His lifestyle as a teacher, you would recollect what we studied in the school. Mahavira Jaina, 24th Tirthankara of Jainism, because they go back, Mahavira is the 24th. So they were contemporary, with a difference of maybe 50 years. So at a particular time, both Mahavira and Siddhartha Gautama were there. But having seen the Kadak tapas of the Jainas, the way they used to the physical body, and he had himself, you would have seen Buddha with that skeleton and all that, and it didn't work. He realized that it doesn't work. That is how the Sahajamarga, in whatever way you call it, it came. Okay, this doesn't, it doesn't work from his own experience. So that third definition, this is my understanding, the third definition of yoga that we have in the Bhagavad Gita, first being yoga, samatvam yoga uchyate, the second being yoga karmasu kaushalam, and the third being yuktahara viharasya yukta cheshtasya karmasu yukta swapnavabodhasya yogo bhavati dukkhaha. There is lot of similarity there is between what he propounded, how the lifestyle should be. He did not insist on, I'm not getting that English word, that physical, another adjective, that. And another, it's a recent book, somebody, one philosopher had written, I hope nobody is recording. They said, in Jainism hasn't come out with any new philosophical ideas because सारा टाइम तो उनका उपवास में चला जाता है, दिमाग तो काम ही नहीं करता, तो डेवलपमेंट ऑफ थॉट होगा कैसे? No, like Nagarjuna's have an open mind. Nagarjuna, the consider the second Buddha, how he came up with Mahāyāna Buddhism around 1st century. That is how it is. So मैं क्या करूं?
थोड़ा ये साइड में आ जाएगा.
So that, oh, now I can hear myself. Yeah, Yuktahara Vihara. So I'm trying to integrate because nothing is isolated like an island. You have to connect things. Only then the whole paradigm or whole understanding becomes, there is more clarity and more clarity and more clarity. So he was rebellious, and when he started teaching, he discarded as it is. He had dismissed the Vedas, and scholars opine that why they dismissed the Vedas, whether Mahavira and is because of the Brahmana portion, not the Samhita portion or the Upanishads, because there was indeed Pashubali, there was indeed cruelty, and both of them were highly sensitive human beings, so they just could not, so they dropped the Vedas lock, stock and barrel. And he discarded Varnashrama also, even gender. And when he started, he was in two minds after receiving, after his enlightenment, and that Sampradaya, that organized religion and Saṅgha, all that was there. Then his foster mother came, who was his Masi, wanted to get sannyasa. So he said no. Initially, naturally, a lot of orthodoxy was there in 6th century BCE, but he saw that those tears in her eyes, and she was the first one to be taken into the bhikkhuni sampradaya. Why I am telling this? Because in our own sampradaya, we are 250 sannyasis around, and around 50 of us are females, and we have Pūjya Swāmiji has given us more liberty and that access to Vedanta Shastra, which is not even available now in Buddhism. I know that. So he discarded Varnashrama and gender rules and allowed everyone to enter the monastic order. But and he himself did not after that, after his enlightenment, he did not pursue any very hard tapas or all that. Okay, but he had to, knowing that what people always associate all these things with austerity, so he had provided austerities by all those Shilas, Shila, Dhutangas and Dhutagunas. The Saṅgha rules were there, and as Pūjya Swāmiji says, Saṅgha rules are there, like Pūjya Swāmi says, 365 days, they have 450 rules in the Saṅgha, and if you are a bhikkhuni, then you have another 50 rules. That is there. Then what he did, he did not nominate anyone to carry on the tradition, which is like we have BCP, business continuity plan, because after me what? The Karta has to decide after me what. So during his lifetime himself, Buddha's lifetime, there were indications of existence of some who would not accept, this happened with a great person like Buddha. His own cousin, what is his name? Devadatta, he would not accept his leadership, jealous of him, and at least 2-3 times he tried to murder him by throwing that stone from the hilltop and threw elephant and all that, but Buddha survived. And this happened during his lifetime. After his lifetime also, people, their own followers refused to accept his disciples, the distinct disciples, Mahakashyapa, Upali, Ananda after his death, all those are there. Now, knowing that he would be going, he himself deliberately did not appoint anybody as his head, and he said, to the contrary, he said Dharma itself would be the instructor of that Saṅgha after his disappearance. Just like Guru Granth Sahib, you remember in the Sikh tradition, in that medieval time, they were all slaughtered by Aurangzeb and all that. So around, I think 8th, 9th and 10th, they were just beheaded. So after that he said, okay, after that no more gurus, Grantha Sahib will be the guru, because he said how many kartas are going to sacrifice themselves for this. So this will look after the tradition, the sect. That is how I am connecting. Now, like all good things in life, so after his passing away, so in course of time, even Buddhism got, in course of time, in 1000 years, 1000 years, no, 600, 1 century, 500 years, it got bifurcated into Hinayana and Mahayana. Now, Hinayana, Mahayana is a labeling. Would anybody call themselves or what they are following as Hinayana? They won't. So naturally somebody labels them as Hinayana and calls themselves as Mahayana. That happened when Nagarjuna came with, he's considered as the second Buddha, he came with a more profound concept, because this Hinayana is Therāvāda, Sthīravāda, which is still practiced in, still means the original Buddhism, which is practiced in Sri Lanka and few more places. That is only for your own Nibbana. You know, you follow a particular lifestyle and you study and all that and follow, and you get Nibbana. That is the original Buddhism. But Nagarjuna came, when Nagarjuna came, he came with a broader concept, and he said that what is it, bodhicitta and all that. So until the bodhisattvas, he is ready for Nibbana, but until the last one gets Nibbana, he would keep his own Nibbana in abeyance until it is a concept naturally. I mean, it is very easy to admire and all that. So that is how. And what the Tibetan Buddhism follow is Mahayana. Now Hinayana is lesser vehicle. Lesser vehicle means that lifestyle and that philosophy, it will only give you Nibbana to the individual who is practicing it. When you say Mahayana, it's a higher vehicle or which has that universal view. And in fact, Buddha was the first one who could visualize, he had the vision of Nibbana or Moksha for all. And whether you accept it or not, in our Hinduism it is not, I mean, there is gender issues and there is Dvijas, and some Acharya says it is for all, and some Acharya says only the Brahmanas are eligible for sannyasa life and study of Vedas and all that. So I understand it that way, in the sense that because why do people admire and why Buddhism has got so much of acceptability compared to a lot of criticism, you know, of Hinduism. So that is what they admire in the Buddha, that he saw Nibbana for everyone, irrespective of gender, irrespective of course, I mean, caste and all that, Varnashrama he had already dropped. So in the Hinayana there are two denominations. Two denominations means, after this is, by the way, hi, detour, you know, when Ambedkar, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar said, I was born into a Hindu family, but I am not going to die a Hindu. And just before his death, 15 days before, he said, I am going to change, and one Padri and one Mullah and one Therāvāda priest, they were negotiating, they were presenting their religion ki kya hai karke. So he finally, depends who markets better. So for good, bad or ugly reason, he converted to Therāvāda. He converted to that Buddhism. So Hinayana has got, it is actually, the original name is Sthīravāda, which has got corrupted to the Therāvāda. That is followed in Sri Lanka, Burma, Thailand and Vietnam. It's an orthodox sect of Buddhism. And okay, I've covered all that. Okay. Just to connect you what is happening around this Therāvāda, they are the followers of Vipassana meditation. And in fact, Buddha, that 49 days meditation, how many days? Yeah, 49 days meditation was Vipassana meditation. It was not that he he did not come up with it. It was there in the sampradaya, it was there in the tradition. So somebody taught, Upali, I think. Upali taught him Vipassana meditation. So, okay. They practice Vipassana meditation, and what is his name? Dr. S.N. Goenka, no? Yeah. So that what? That is promoted by Government of India, because if you are going for Vipassana meditation 21 days and you are not going to speak to anyone, you get 21 days leave. So I would like to believe that to get leave, people go for it. It is impossible to. I attended a Vipassana meditation, almost I wanted to jump out of the hotel window. And third day I fought, I said this apple, I threw an apple, I got fired. I said, मेरी जिंदगी जा रही है, तुम एप्पल के बारे में बात कर रहे हो? Impossible, very. I mean, once you taste the freedom, the mental freedom that is given to us by Swāmi Dayānanda Saraswati, you feel suffocated anywhere else. Such a freedom, individual. And it is not in the lifestyle. That freedom that Pūjya Swāmiji has given us is here, your understanding, and there that yoga karma sukoshalam comes. Okay, it is, life is dynamic, situation is dynamic. You have studied the Shastra, you interpret what is your role, what is your script, and accordingly. That is how, I mean, when I am faced with a complex situation, I just see if Pūjya Swāmiji was there in such a situation, what he would have done. That is how. Okay. So Therāvāda. Sarvastivāda doesn't exist anymore. I think in Shankara, I have not completed Brahma Sutra. In his he has dismissed Sarvastivāda, and Mahāyāna he has not dismissed. I mean, they refuted. Mahāyāna, then Mahāyāna Buddhism also. Nagarjuna is around 1st century. If you take 6th century BCE as Buddhas, then Nagarjuna is 1st century. Why my interest in Buddhism is because when I tried to study Mandukya Upanishad along with the Karika with Pūjya Swāmiji's 100 cassettes, 3 times I have gone, and I would have gone 50 pages, then I drop it. Then another 5 years, then I go again, I put it in, and again I go through with pencil. All my studies are active studies. Then again 3 times I dropped it, and I was feeling, why बहुनामेमि प्रथमः बहुनामेमि मध्यमः किं सुद्यमस्य कर्तव्यम. तो मैं कह रहा हूँ, why मेरे को समझ में क्यों नहीं आ रहा है? Then somebody told me, unless it is based on Mūla Madhyamaka Karika of Nagarjuna, unless you study Mūla Madhyamaka Karika, you will not get head or tail of Gaudapada Karika. Then that is how the studies, and that is how this interest has been. So in course of time, this Mahāyāna also, it started with the Madhyamaka Shunyavadins, nihilist of neither I have memorized, I am only trying to capture my thought. By Nagarjuna, that is around 1st century. By 2nd or 3rd century, I mean common era, this Yogāchāra, another denomination. See, when we are talking about denomination or sect and all that, at that point, and to call somebody the propounder of this thought or propounder of this sect, at that point it is nothing. Buddha died a Hindu. It's only over a period of time when the philosophy becomes more refined and there is a practicing following, then we can say, and that is how we say. So Yogāchāra, where the philosophy is Kshanika Vijnanavada, is that was developed after around 100 or 200 years after Madhyamaka. So that was by whom? Maitreyanath, it says, around 270 to 350. Idealist is what? Yogāchāra. Yes. मेरा पेन कहाँ है? It helps to have scholars in the audience. What do they say? Again, I don't mind being corrected in the sense or supplemented through because that is how one learns. So how do you remember that? So one student says, see, the branch is moving. Branch is moving. First student. The second student says, no, it's the wind is moving the branch. The second fellow says, no, it is the branch that is moving the wind. Then Guruji comes and says, your mind is moving. That is Yogāchāra, Kshanika Vijñānavada. Then Mahāyāna, this is the two main denominations of Mahāyāna, that is Madhyamaka and Yogāchāra. Then in course of time it gave rise to other sects, that is Vajrayāna. Vajrayāna is what is practiced by Dalai Lama, Tibetan Buddhism, and it is by meditation. So if you take Buddhist pantheon, they have more devatas than we have, and in different, have you seen those paintings? So they give you a what? So many, and you choose your Ishta Devata and you meditate on that, and they promise you that you will have it, what, the Nibbana or Moksha within 15 days. They promise. The thing is, I said, how can anybody promise that you will have Nibbana within 15 days? They tell you to meditate on that particular form for so many days. If it doesn't happen, you start again. That is how it is. It is what do you say when somebody says, okay, I saw Ram Darbar. How come he saw or she saw Ram Darbar and I am not being able to see? So naturally it is not Vyavaharika, it is Pradivasika. It is the projection of his or her mind. And when that didn't happen, so Tantra was already active in Bengal. This Assam, Bengal, not so much Odisha, okay? So how Tantra went to Tibet, like that it went to Tibet. So when Buddhism had become very sophisticated, with all those abstract ideas, and ideas don't work, and when they are assuring that this is going to happen, so that is how Tantra moved that way to so Tantrayana. So a lot of Tantra, you might be knowing that there is lot of practice of Tantra in Buddhism. So in the Vajrayāna, so again there is another name, many sub sects, Mantrayāna, Sahajayāna and Kālachakrayāna. Kālachakrayāna, he does it. I mean, that initiation into Kalachakra, His Holiness, the 14th Dalai Lama, he does it every year one time. He does it. Now, yeah, good. Yeah, no, I won't touch Buddhism in Tibet. I just told you. This is one important point, decline and disappearance of Buddhism in India, because they attribute it